What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Big Blue in the Bronx YouTube channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Turn on the notification bell so you know when a live stream pops or drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. A lot of interesting stuff happened with the Yankees today. Their fan base, Cleveland Guardian players. So we're going to get into that in this video. I'm going to just say it right now. Do not watch half of the video. Watch the whole thing. Because I know there's going to be some people that say, oh, you're only defending this side. Meanwhile, they watch like 3 minutes and don't even watch the whole thing. Or it's going to be the other way around in the same scenario. So there's that. Why do I have a lower toned? Well, I shouldn't say lower toned, but why do I have less of a voice than I usually do? Because I was at the game. You know, it's plain and simple. I was at the game. I had a couple of personal things clear up for me, and I was able to go to the game. I bought tickets. I was sitting in section 103, and I know a lot of the shit that happened. I got it from First View, and I know how to break it down. I understand a lot of people will put out these PSAs trying to clear their name like they're totally 110% involved. Like, you know what? Shut the fuck up, please. So I'm going to get into it right now. Tune in through the whole video. If you don't tune in through the whole video, you're not going to get the full story according to me, someone who was there, and you're not going to get the full viewpoint. And basically, if you don't listen to the whole video and come after me for saying I'm defending one side and not the other, then you know what? That's your fucking loss for not watching. So I'm going to display the events that happened. I'm also going to display my opinions based on who's right, who's wrong, all this other stuff. So, real quickly, shout out to Gleyber-Torres with the walk-off single. Yankees won that game. IKF, down 2 strikes, hits a gap double. Stephen Kwan was hurt on that play, so hope he's doing okay. There was a couple of strong points and a couple of bad points. I mean, Chad Green gave up the 2-run homer to a guy who was hitting 103. It's not good. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of what actually happened. What are the headlines and stuff like that? So everybody knows that's a Yankee fan, that's a baseball fan. There's a section called the Bleacher Creatures in Yankee Stadium. Their mentality, besides being very passionate, and I agree with their amount of passion for this team, right? It's not, oh, they're constantly doing this or that or whatever, the other thing. There's a section in right field that's 203, 202 a little bit, and also the section next to it, I think it's 204, where, yes, but 203 is like the main Bleacher Creatures. You also have a section in left field. You also have just left field, right? Fans can be fans. Sometimes you'll have a really calm section with a couple of kooks, and sometimes you have really, a big section with a lot of crazy guys and a lot of passionate guys. And then you'll have those quiet few. So let's get into it. I just wanted to give a description there. So going back to the Bleacher Creatures, their mentality and just Yankee fans' mentality, and I'm not saying it's, in the most nice way possible. They want to get in the outfielders' heads, right? One of the main examples is Alex Verdugo. On opening day through the opening series, he was getting a ton of shit from Yankee fans. I was there on opening day. I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm not hiding myself. I chanted a lot of things at him. It's called being a fan. It's called trying to get into his head. Now, he was looking back. And he struck out about 3 times that day. So the Yankees fans didn't get the notion of they're the worst fans from that. I mean, there's a lot of other things as well. But what Verdugo did is different from what Myles did. Verdugo made up upon it. And guess what? His first at-bat against Luis Severino, home run the next day. So they got into his head the first game, but the second game he said, you know what? Fuck the Yankee fans. I'm going to go deep. George Springer was getting a ton of shit in left field too. Guess what? He homered off of, I want to say it was Tyan, maybe? I think it was Tyan. So he homered off Tyan. Shout out to Tyan, by the way. Maybe I'll cuck over him and say, because I was by the bullpen today and he waved at me when I yelled Jammo, but I'm not going to cuck over it. I'm not that guy. So let's get back to it. So the Yankee fans and the Bleacher Creatures were in full force today. They were chanting things at Mercado. They were chanting things at Myles. And what really gets to me about Myles is obviously a lot of things he said and how he just didn't adjust to this last year. I was there last year when they won the first game and dropped the next two games against what was known as the Indians at the time. And our section, I was sitting in the bleacher creatures at the time last year in about September. It was on a Friday. It was Friday night. And we were going at Bradley Zimmer. Bradley Zimmer didn't do any of the things that Myles Straw did. He didn't call out the fans. Didn't do anything like that. Obviously, he didn't have the greatest of nights. But he just took it and said, oh, okay, you know what? That's the way they're going to act. That's the way they want to get in my head. I have to show them. So I'm kind of surprised that Myles Straw didn't really adjust to that last year, right? He played against the Yankees a little bit last year, so it's nothing new to him. And he played with the Astros a little bit in 2018, 19, 2020. So once again, I'm surprised that he didn't know what the Yankee fans were going to bring. And when I say that, first couple innings, he's looking at the bleacher creatures section. Normally, you would have those players that don't even look, don't even give signals, all that other stuff, just ignore, okay? Before I go any further, fans are going to be fans. What comes out of their mouths, no matter who the fans are, what fan base they are in, it's not going to be PG. It's not going to be G-rated. It's going to be rated R, rated anything else. It's not E for everyone. This isn't some game on Xbox, right? This isn't Xbox Connect. Fans will try to get in your head, no matter they won't care. And I'm not saying this is 100% right. I'm not saying this is 100% wrong, but they will try to get in your head with vulgar language, right? And you guys probably saw that just a tad in the Indians versus Yankees vlog, which was last year. They were still called the Indians at the time, so I could still use it. And then opening day, there were some fuck Verdugo chants in there, so you got to see that. So skip all the way to, let's just say, I think it was the 9th. Okay, so IKF with down 2 strikes, hits a fly ball to left field. Stephen Kwan, who you guys can go back on podcast episodes and just some videos. I've talked about Stephen Kwan in a great way. I said, look, this guy's starting out, I think it was 10 for 15 to start the year, or 5 for 15, or whatever it was, and he started out with a really good average. So he didn't make a play in left field. That cost him. He got hurt, and the Yankees tied the game. So apparently, while he was down, there were some fans in that left field section taunting him. So just come out and say it. Not necessarily right, but you're going to have those assholes, right? You'll have it in any fan base, especially the major ones. So Myles Straw climbs the scoreboard in left field and tries to get at the fans and start causing more trouble than the fans were already causing. What I mean that is, once again, going back to what I said, you don't have to chirp at the fans. Just block it in the back of your head. I understand it's not all cut and clear, but you know what, dude? You're a baseball player. If you go to Boston, you think that treatment's going to be any different? No. If you go to Philly, that treatment going to be any different? No. So he climbs, and apparently, here's where I get a little pissed off here. Besides climbing the scoreboard, apparently he spit. Apparently. I'm going to say apparently because I'm not, it's not confirmed. It was all the way in left field, so I couldn't see it. But if he did spit on a fan, that's absolutely fucking disgusting, and you should be ashamed of yourself. I will talk about Myles Straw a little bit later. So he spits, supposedly, and then he's taunting, he's talking, he's shit-talking, and he's pissed. He's pissed. Mercado's pissed. Mercado I could give a little bit of leeway to because he's a younger player. I don't think he's been in Yankee Stadium before, but nonetheless, you have to come in with expectations of they're going to be assholes in the stands. They're going to try to get in your head. So Mercado's chirping, Straw's chirping after Straw tries to climb up the scoreboard and left, and the umpires come out. Terry Francona comes out and tries to disperse the situation. So my section, 103, starts chanting, asshole, asshole, because there's no need to give in to the fan right there. There's no need to just go and climb in, and you're not insinuating, but you're inciting them to do something worse. Now, if they did something worse than just shit-talking or taunting while that player was down, that's on them, but also you have to look at different factors of who's at fault. So our section starts chanting asshole at Myles Straw because obviously he doesn't know how to just take it. He doesn't know how to take criticism. He doesn't know how to take the vulgar language. Once again, there are going to be assholes, but also these guys, including myself, I will try to get into your head. I'm not going to be, oh, well, that's not me. I will fess the fuck up. I will fess the fuck up because I got nothing to hide. So we finally get to the infamous Gleyber Torres walk-off, and I will say I was a little pissed off that Gleyber Torres didn't get as much, I would say, recognition because of what happened. Now, if you've tuned into this part of the video, congratulations, you've won yourself a cookie. Not really, but you've made it to this part of the video where I get to even out both sides. I get to iron both sides out. Fans had absolutely zero right throwing beers. At the time, I was just taking in the moment, and I'm not necessarily saying in a good way, I'm not saying in a bad way, but I was just taking in the moment of beer being thrown on the field and Judge and Stanton be like, hey, stop it, stop it, stop it. It's not the right thing to do. Unless a player comes and tries to punch you or something like that or something, and I've seen this comparison a lot. Ron Artest, the Pacers Pistons matchup from 2004 when Ron Artest and Steven Jackson, I think his name is, they went into the stands, fought a bunch of fans because a player threw a cup. So beer was all over the field, and once again, that is absolutely not right. I don't condone it. I wouldn't do that if I was told to do it. I just don't think it's right. Now, in another act of fairness or another act of just being myself, I don't think there should be people coming, oh, well, the people in the bleacher creatures, they're not Yankee fans. You know what? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Because you know what? Let me say this, and this is not to condone what they did. But if you're going to say, oh, well, they're not fans, they're not Yankee fans. You know what, dude? They actually paid the tickets. They paid the ticket price and went to the stadium. So they're probably more of a fan than you are sitting on your couch trying to be a content creator or whatever the fuck you're trying to be, a Twitter personality. I don't want to hear, oh, well, they're not Yankee fans. The comments of, oh, we don't claim those people or whatever. Some of those people actually come out on Twitter and goober. They actually come out and goober the team and coddle the team. I'm going to be honest with you. I know a couple of people that sit in that section. They try to coddle the team. They try to goober the team, whatever. So, to finish off that part, that was absolutely not right. Now, Mercado was actually saying to our section, the first row, he caught a couple of those beer cans and said, come here. And now, maybe I could be wrong on this, but our section, which was section 103, which was below the section that was throwing the beers, we weren't throwing beers, at least that I could see. I have good view of my section. I don't think we were throwing the beers. I think a lot of people were actually just trying to stop what was happening. But he said, come here, come at me. He said it to one fan, a couple of fans, and I don't understand that either. I mean, once again, I give Mercado a little more leeway because he's a younger guy and maybe he hasn't been to Yankee Stadium before, but grow the fuck up. Like, seriously, if they're not throwing beer at you and you recognize it's from the top and they're just shit talking from the bottom, fucking ignore it. But once again, if it was coming from the bottom, if it was coming from 103, I would understand you trying to shit talk, do all this, the game's over, right? So you could make cases on all sorts of side of things. Now let me get to what Myles Straw actually said after the game. I'm going to focus on one quote. You guys can throw some quotes in the premiere. In terms of that, here's what I will say. He said that it is a classless fan base. It is a classless fan base. Give me 2 seconds here. Give me 2 seconds because for some reason I have to be texted. Texas. I can't even talk today. It's probably my voice. Let me just see because I think Fox has his actual quote, and I don't want to misquote him too much. I know my buddies at NYY News TV definitely commented on it and stuff like that. Let's see. Classless, worst fan base on the planet. You know what, dude? Fuck you! Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm going to say that. Don't care who comes after me. Come at me in the comments. Go fuck yourself. You couldn't handle New York. Once again, those beer throwers, no, that's not right. But you couldn't handle New York after being how many times here? You could have just let it go. You didn't have to climb and spit on somebody, supposedly. You didn't have to climb and talk to some of the fans and shit talk them. You didn't have to engage in that. You didn't have to incite more of that stuff. You could debate that whether you like it or not. And then to come out here and say, oh, well, they're the worst fan base on the planet. You know what, dude? Stay in your small town area. Stay in Cleveland, will you? I like the city of Cleveland. I've been there. I would definitely go back. But you know what? They're not as tough on their team as New York is. Because guess what? Since Cleveland went to the World Series, they haven't been the same team. And now they're starting to rebuild. They traded all these guys. So we could say a lot more about your team and the way your fan base comes out here and just accepts the losing after, they haven't won a championship since 1948. And you could have been a little more classier and say, listen, you will have those morons that throw the beers. I don't think the Yankees fan base is all that bad. I think they were just trying to get in my head. That would have been reasonable to say. But to call out the fan base as a whole, you got a target on your back. And I've seen a lot of people saying that Garrett Cole should throw at him. Realistically, it's not going to happen. I don't really want people being hit in the head with a baseball. But at the same time, just to go over more realistically, I don't think it's going to happen because I feel like the Yankees will be more in tune with what the Cleveland Guardians are up to. Like they feel the Yankees fan base is trash. They feel that they shouldn't do that stuff. And once again, they shouldn't throw beers. So they will be more tuned to that and more forgiving to them than they will with the fan base. And they won't send a message because I don't think in this type of situation, they'll be passionate about the fans too much because it will send a bad message. It will send a bad PR message saying, oh, well, you know what? You backed up your fans for throwing shit on the field. Once again, to recap the video, Myles Straw, please, for the sake of you, grow some fucking balls. Gonna be honest, grow some fucking balls. The throwing of the beer is not okay. I don't condone that. Shouldn't have been done. Oscar Mercado, he's a young player, so I'm not going to go ahead and, just, bang on him like I would Myles Straw. So, it's going to be interesting. Hope you guys see this video. Hope you guys watch the whole thing. Like, comment, subscribe to all the good stuff. Peace out. See you later. Stay cool. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.